Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Jay Cartere, and in this video I am going to be reviewing Overwatch and giving my impressions of it and what I think of it, and saying whether I think you guys should buy it. So I'm going to go through a variety of different subjects like gameplay, graphics, sound, story, even though it's no fucking story, so that's going to be a short little section, but we're going to do it like that. I haven't written a script or anything. We're just going to do it off the top of the head. I'm just going to share my feelings about Overwatch because, man, I do have some feelings about this game. So let me start off with, I played the beta. I played it a lot. Like, I really enjoyed the beta. I really got into it. Overwatch was not on my radar whatsoever before I played the beta. I heard about the controversy about Tracer's butt and all that sort of stuff, but I never really looked at any trailers. I never really cared about Overwatch. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't going to be a game that I was looking forward to at all because I didn't know what it was. I knew it was from Blizzard and I knew they'd done World of Warcraft, and I was like, that's not something I'm going to get because it's got a subscription fee and that's expensive, and I ain't trying to deal with that. And I don't have a PC, and I thought it was going to be a PC game. But I got the beta, I booted it up, and then I got into a match, and I played a couple more matches, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fun. And then I got the game. I pre-ordered the game very shortly after I played the beta. I got the game the other day, and I've been playing it. I've been streaming it, and yeah, it still stands up. It's basically the same as the beta, so we're basically going to be sharing my impressions on the beta / the game, because it's basically the same thing at this point until they add new maps, add new characters, and all that sort of stuff. But first off, let's start with gameplay. So there's 12 maps. There's 3 different maps for each game mode, and there's 21 characters. Each game mode are Assault, Escort, Hybrid, and Control. Hybrid is basically a hybrid of Escort and Assault. Basically, you have to assault a point, and then you have to escort a payload. Control is basically is kind of king of the hill. But it's basically like domination, to be honest. Your team needs to go and control the point, and your enemy team needs to go and control the point also. Assault is there's 2 points on the map, and you want to go get that point, and then you have to go to the next point and capture that while the other team defends. Obviously you switch places, and you might be defending and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the 21 characters, they all play great. Let's start off with that. They're all very fun to play. Like the other day, I was like, I hate Widowmaker because I'm terrible at sniping, and I'm definitely never gonna play as her. And then while I was on stream, like a couple of my my audience members were like, yeah, play as her, man. Try her out, get better with her, and all that sort of stuff. And I played as her, and I actually had a good time. I actually had a good time with her, and I didn't expect that I would have a good time with her whatsoever. And I feel like I've had a good time with almost every character. When I first started playing and I played as Junkrat, I completely hated him because I didn't know how to play him. And then I played him a little bit more, and now I love him. Like, I think that's the type of thing that will happen in this game. You'll start off playing, and you won't really understand what's going on, and then a couple matches deep, you'll get an understanding for what's going on in the game and what they want you to do, and the different facets of the team and the different roles that you need to play as each different character. And it starts off pretty simple, and then it can get really deep, like having to change a character in order to combat what your enemy team's composition is. If they've got a certain character, like for example, if they've got a Bastion, and Bastion is totally just tearing the living hell out of your team, yeah, I was trying not to swear. It's tearing the living hell out of your team. You might want to switch to a character that can actually take Bastion out. You might be going in there with a Soldier 76, but you can't get close enough to Bastion because he's just, taking you apart. You change to a Genji or a Widowmaker or even a Pharah. Pharah's not great against Bastion, but she's pretty cool. And yeah, you can take him out, and then yeah, that sort of strategy of switching out your character and all that sort of stuff, I really love that. I love when you have a layer of strategy in games. I love having to think, having to outsmart my opponent, and you have that in this game. Also, the shooting is Oh my days. Oh my days. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. There's not loads of recoil. Like, for example, if you was playing a game like Battlefield, it's more like Call of Duty in a sense that it's more arcade shooter. Like, there's not loads of recoil, but it depends what character you pick. Some characters have more recoil than others. Some characters, their guns just shoot like lasers, basically. Some actually do have lasers, like Zarya. She's got a kind of laser beam. The abilities are great. The abilities for every character is interesting. Some of them have pretty, you know, trash ultimates. Like Tracer's ultimate is pretty mediocre in my opinion. But the fact that she can teleport and, you know, rewind back in time kind of, you know, weighs that out and balances it out. So I think all the characters are pretty balanced. Like, there is no super overpowered character that will just get rid of your team. And yeah, you can counter basically every character, and you can do what needs to be done in order to win. There's always a chance to win. Oh my days, like sometimes you're in a match and you're like, maybe you're defending. No, let's say you're attacking and you're going to cap this last point. You've got like 20 seconds left and your opponent is, you know, let's say you're defending. That's more interesting. You're defending this point. Your opponent has like 3 minutes left, yeah, because this has happened to me. Your opponent has 3 minutes left. The payload is right next to the end point where they need to get it to, where they're trying to escort it to. And yeah, you're trying to defend this payload like from getting to its endpoint for 3 minutes. Like, it's almost done. The game's almost done. If they kill your team and just push it in there, it's over. But you can feasibly keep that payload out of the end zone for 3 minutes by just playing very skillfully, changing your characters when it needs to be done, and picking, you know, being very smart with it and playing a great team focused kind of strategy. And you can win even in those dire situations when it seems like you're gonna lose. And sometimes the game goes into overtime and that sort of stuff, and it's really tense, and it's always fun. Even when I've lost games, I've had loads of fun. I think, yeah, this game is just really incredibly fun, and I haven't found a fun game like this that I've played in a while. And I was just completely blown away when I started playing this game, and I've realized how much fun I was having. Like, every time I would boot up the game and go to play it, I was enjoying it, and I was looking forward to playing the game. Like, sometimes you get a bit bored of a game because you've been playing it too much and whatnot, but not Overwatch. Like, I really want to play more of Overwatch right now while I'm doing this review. I want to go and play some Overwatch right now, and that's a testament to its gameplay and to the design and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that was the gameplay. I don't want to ramble on too much. Let's get into graphics. So the graphics are kind of, you know, cartoonish. Some people have compared it to like Pixar. Some people have compared it to Team Fortress 2, that sort of stuff. And yeah, I love it. It's very colorful. The graphics are, you know, good for me. I haven't seen any really terrible graphics, and because it's, you know, cartoon like, it's much easier to create great graphics when it's supposed to look like a cartoon. It's not supposed to look like real people. When you try to make it look like real people, you can tell if it doesn't really look like real people, and you can be like, those are mediocre graphics and that sort of stuff. But yeah, because it's all cartoon like, everything's smooth, everything's colorful and lively. It just evokes a feeling of happiness in you. When you play the game, you feel very happy. There's loads of colorful characters, there's colorful scenery, colorful backdrops, and everything you do just seems fun. Like, there's no try hardness about it. Like, if you was playing like another modern shooter that's a bit depressing and dark, there's none of that about it. It's all about being good for your team and working together and trying to win as a team. It's not about, you know, going out and who gets the most kills and whatnot, but that's a gameplay thing. But yeah, it looks great. I really like the graphics. Let's go on to sound, I guess. First of all, can we just talk about Tracer's British accent? I think Tracer's British accent is terrible, but I forgive it. Like, I just want to put that out there. It's terrible, but I forgive it. She doesn't sound British to me at all. Like, and I'm from London. I'm from Britain. I've talked to British people. I am British. You can hear my accent. It just doesn't work for me. It sounds like a terrible accent, but I forgive it, and I forgive all the accents. And I don't, if they're trying to make it like really you know, specific, and they're trying to make sure it sounds like a British accent, then they failed. But if they're just trying to make it like very over the top, just add some personality to these characters, then they definitely succeeded, because Tracer does have a personality, and all these characters have great personalities, and you can tell from their accents. Like Junkrat has an Australian accent, and I just love the Australian accent, and he sounds great with it, because he's just a maniacal character. He looks kind of like the Joker. That's what I thought when I first saw him. And he's got that maniacal smile as well, and because he's got that Australian accent, it's like good eye. It's just hilarious. I just love it. But yeah, the sound in this game is great. All the different characters have different sounds for their footsteps. So if you like, when you get used to the game, you can tell who's actually coming around the corner. And if you're like wearing a headset, which I suggest you do, because that's usually the best way to play shooters and whatnot. If you're not wearing a headset, then you're going to be at a disadvantage. But if you're wearing a headset, then you can generally hear what direction an opponent is coming from, and you can also hear who's actually coming, because they all have their different footsteps, sounds, and that sort of stuff. And when they do their ultimate, they all have a specific sound, a specific phrase that they shout out when they do that. Oh shit, I just burped there. They have a specific phrase that they shout out when they do their ultimates. And yeah, so you can be warned, and you can stay out of the way if you hear like Junkrat saying fire in the hole, he's gonna fling out his little tire thing, and that's probably coming for your whole team to blow you guys up. So you should probably look out for that, try to shoot it. If you hear McCree say high noon or something like that, you probably want to get into some cover so he can't, you know, head top you with his gunslinger skills. And yeah, the sound is really good. The gunplay sounds great. I never had any complaints with that. The music's cool. Like it's nothing really to, you know, write home about, like the music, but it does its job. It's in the background. It services it pretty well. It keeps me on a, you know, jolly mood while I'm playing the game. I never played the game and was like, oh, I'm bored now, I need to put this down. Like, that doesn't happen at all. And that's a testament to, you know, a great game, to be honest. And I'm really thankful for that. Thank you, Blizzard. Shout out to you guys. Let's get on to the next category, which is story. Now, well, there is no single player campaign in Overwatch. It's a campaign. Like I'm gonna complain about the campaign, but no, there is no single player campaign in Overwatch, and you know, I'm not too upset about that. I didn't go into Overwatch hoping that there'd be a single player campaign, because I knew that there wouldn't be one. But you know, seeing as it is, you know, well, £45 for me, because I got the Origins edition and I got a little badge and stuff. Seeing as it is that price, I guess how some people could be upset that there's no single player portion, but I got this game knowing that it was a multiplayer game, and yeah, multiplayer games generally have a lot of, you know, gameplay and whatnot that you can get out of it. So I definitely think it's worth the money so far. I hope the longevity is there, and I think Blizzard really support their games apparently, so that should stay around. But they do have like little comics that they're putting out through their website. I've seen them posting it on Twitter, and they've posted little short films, like just fleshing out these characters' backstories, and I'm really interested to find out about these characters. Like when you're in a match, before the match starts, if you're attacking, I don't know if it happens if you're defending, but definitely if you're attacking, you usually have to wait a minute, and your characters will sometimes speak to each other. They'll sometimes have a little bit of dialogue. Different characters will be talking to, you know, each other, and they'll flesh out some story that you didn't know about. And well, they'll allude to something. They won't actually, you know, give you the whole entire story. Like I think I heard Widowmaker and Reaper talking about something that happened at a certain place. I forgot what it was called, but so obviously they was working together at one point. And I'm really excited to see how that happened, what went down, and that sort of stuff. So the story, even though they have no single player campaign, they do have a story that is drawing me in. And, you know, when you boot up the game, they do have Winston introducing what, like, Overwatch was about. I think they came about to, like, fight the robots, basically. I think Omnicorp or Omni something. I don't know where I'm getting Omnicorp from. I'm seeing that in my mind. It seems like something from The Incredibles, but I might be wrong. But yeah, so there's some sort of Omni thing. I think Omni Tool is from Mass Effect or something, right? But basically, they have some sort of, you know, robots that the Overwatch group was founded to, like, fight against. And then I think they fought against crime for a little while, and then it would disbanded and then branded as, you know, criminals if they would, you know, participate in, like, that sort of activity, like mercenary activity and stuff like that. So there is, like, a brief kind of explanation of the story, and if you want to go deeper, you can watch the short films, you can check out the comics. There is lore for you to find, but within the game, they don't force feed it down your throat. It's more about, you know, how the characters interact a little bit before the match, but when you actually get into it, it's just all about, you know, which characters work well together and which characters work well against other characters, and that is where the game shines, and that's what the game is really about. So for the story, I'd say, you know, story's cool. I'm really interested to know more about the characters, to be honest. So I guess they actually succeeded in that sense. But yeah, overall, is it a fun game? Yes, definitely. Definitely, I think it's really, really super fun. I'm having the time of my life with it. I just want to play it each and every day. I want to play loads more Overwatch. I want to be playing it now. So I would suggest it to anyone who likes multiplayer shooters, anyone who's into, like, competitive online gameplay. If you are, like, someone who really likes playing single player games, then I probably wouldn't suggest it to you because there is no single player component whatsoever. But yeah, also, if you got a team to play with, it's even better then, because you can communicate with a team and all that sort of stuff and really build up a great team composition and play great. I've just been playing solo because I've been playing while streaming and whatnot, so I haven't really had the opportunity to, you know, talk to people and do all that sort of stuff, but I'm sure that would make the game even better. So even if you're going to go into it playing solo, I think, yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. It's a really, really fun time, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who likes online multiplayer shooters. And if I would give it a score, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10 if it had, like, a good single player campaign or whatever. But I don't know, 9s and 10s just seem like, you know, a mythical land far away. Like, something really needs to blow me out the waters for me to give it a 9 or a 10. I don't even know what a 9 or a 10 means in my mind right about now. So I'm just gonna stay safe and give it that 8. And yeah, I hope this video helped you out. Hit that like button if it did. Be sure to subscribe, as I'll be putting out loads of Overwatch gameplay, loads of Overwatch tips, and yeah, you can catch me streaming Overwatch. I don't know what days I'm going to pick next week, but you can catch me streaming Overwatch pretty regularly, so definitely stick around to see that. And if you want to check out the rest of my Overwatch videos, you can click on the playlist on the screen, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.